Have you ever found something that felt too perfect? Like it was waiting just for you? That's how Maya felt when she discovered the old Zenith radio at the flea market. Brass detailing, real walnut casing, and a price tag that said $10. It looked like it belonged in a museum or a ghost story. Maya loved restoring old tech. Back in her tiny apartment, she polished the Zenith until it gleamed. When she plugged it in, nothing, just dead silence. Until midnight. A jagged blast of white noise made her jump. Then, faintly, music, a crackling, warbling tune she didn't recognize, haunting almost, like a lullaby played at a funeral. She chalked it up to a weird frequency bleed. But the next night, same time, same static, same song, always starting at midnight. On the third night, something changed. The music faded, and a voice emerged, whisper thin, lost in the static. Maya strained to hear. It sounded like a woman, counting backwards. 7, 6, 5. Chilling, but impersonal. Until Friday. The voice, clearer now, brittle with fear, gasped, "He's at the window." Maya froze. Her own apartment window faced a dark alley. Heart pounding, she crept over, peeked through the blinds. Nothing, just rain-slicked bricks and shadows. Relief washed over her. Just a creepy broadcast, right? Probably some local horror show. She tried finding the station ID. Nothing, just dead air after the voice faded. She asked her neighbor, old Mr. Henderson, about weird radio signals. He just frowned. Bad history on that dial, Maya, especially around here. The Holloway girl. He trailed off, refusing to say more. The name stuck with her. A quick search later. Eleanor Holloway, a local missing persons case, vanished from her apartment 15 years ago, exactly on this date. The report mentioned one bizarre detail. Eleanor was an insomniac who listened to late-night radio. Her Zenith radio was found still on tune to dead air. Maya felt ice slide down her spine. She looked at her own Zenith. Was it Eleanor's? Midnight? Static? Then Eleanor's voice, clearer than ever, raw terror cutting through the noise. "He has a key. He's coming up the stairs. Please, someone. 2B. My apartment is 2B." Maya's blood ran cold. Her apartment was 2B. The building layout hadn't changed in decades. The radio crackled with the unmistakable thud, thud, thud of someone climbing steps. Her steps. Panic seized her. Was this a recording? A sick joke? Or was she hearing the last moments of Eleanor Holloway, somehow trapped in the radio's frequency? The footsteps stopped on the audio. A heavy silence. Then the rasp of a key turning in a lock. Hide, hide, now. Maya scrambled. She grabbed her phone, dialing 911 with shaking fingers, whispering her address. As the dispatcher answered, the radio emitted a new sound. Heavy, wet breathing, not Eleanor's, followed by a soft, horrible chuckle. Then a man's voice, low and distorted, but chillingly clear. "Found you." Not on the radio. The voice came from behind Maya's own front door. A shadow filled the peephole. The banging was deafening, real, shaking her door in its frame. The radio screamed with static, Eleanor's voice shrieking in unison with Maya's own terror. The dispatcher yelled, "Units are en route." But the banging stopped. Sudden, heavy silence. Maya pressed her ear to the door. Nothing. Had he left? She dared to peek through the peephole. Just an empty hallway. Relief was a physical ache. Police arrived moments later, finding her trembling. No one in the hall, no sign of forced entry. They searched the building, found nothing. A prank? A coincidence? The radio sat silent. Maya almost believed it, until the officer asked, "Did you see anyone?" She shook her head. He shone his flashlight down the hall, the beam catching something small and metallic near her door. A single, old-fashioned key, not hers, engraved with faded initials, E.H. Eleanor Holloway. The Zenith radio hummed softly on her desk. As the police bagged the key, Maya looked at the radio dial. It hadn't moved, still tuned to that dead, static-filled frequency. But then, a final whisper, so faint it might have been her imagination, or the sigh of the old building. Maya moved out the next week, left the Zenith behind. They say old houses hold on to things, memories in the walls, echoes in the pipes. But what about old technology? What frequencies do they open? And what, or who, might be listening on the other side? If you ever find a vintage radio tuned just so, humming with static late at night, maybe don't listen too closely. You might hear something that was never meant to be heard again, something that thinks you're the perfect listener.